And welcome back to Indianapolis This Week. We are joined now by our political insiders, Mary Beth Schneider, of course, Kip Too for the Democrats, our favorite conservative commentator, Abdul-Hakim. And let's start off by talking about Mike Pence, AOL, his emails, and state business. Kip is very fired up about all of this, but Mary Beth, let's start with you.
Well, I want to give a big shout out to the Indianapolis Star. Tony Cook did a really good job here. It became known that Pence had an AOL account last summer when it was hacked and somebody sent out one of those ones, you know, we're stuck in the Philippines and we need money, when he clearly wasn't. They put in FOIA requests at some point here. I'm not exactly sure when, but it took the Pence office months to respond. Finally got that stuff showing he was doing state business on his private email.
Not breaking the law,
not
though.
Illegal, but the hypocrisy is hip deep here. When you're going around, you know, saying lock her up about Hillary Clinton having a private email server, it would have behooved you to at least admit that you also used private email.
Kip, take it away.
Well, we spent, I think, as a country, at least a year, maybe over a year, doing investigations of Hillary Clinton because of the email issue. The Vice President of the United States knew this the entire time, fanned the flames of this faux controversy, all the while knowing he was doing precisely the same thing that she was doing. And I think the hypocrisy...
I don't recall a private server at the governor's residence.
It's a distinction without a difference. He was using private email. The reason she set up the private server is because she could have private communications. The exact same thing. The fact that it wasn't a server in the governor's residence is immaterial. It is the question of what you're supposed to be doing with your private email and what you're not supposed to be doing with your private email. And you're not supposed to be, according to Mike Pence and every public statement he made for a year, using your private email for public purposes. And that's what he was doing.
Allow me to throw in this thing called the law. Because in Indiana, the law does not prohibit elected officials from using their private email to engage in conversations about public discussion. I'm engaged in a number of conversations with a number of elected officials via their private email.
Do you care sharing them with us today? Everybody that you've had private conversations and private email with, I think these folks would like to know who those people are.
Including yours?
Yeah, I mean,
you're right that it's not against the law, but what it does is skirt the law, because you are supposed to have state business done in an open way and be available for public record searches. And his private email was not easily available. If somebody else in another agency was doing a public record search, they are not going to pull out all the ones that are on the AOL server.
But that's where I have to respectfully differ with Mary Beth, because whenever I ask for doing a public records request, I always ask for all public email and email that might have gone on individuals' private email addresses, because just the nature of how we do business these days, there's going to be some communication from somebody's Gmail, Yahoo, somebody may still have an old Excite email account.
AOL.
AOL out there somewhere. So in the nature, now the thing is, when you're requested, they try to lie to, they try to conceal, they try to conduct state business. That is a fair, legitimate question. But the fact that it was automatically private does not automatically, make it below board.
You see no hypocrisy here from the Vice President and the now President of the United States spending a year trying to exploit the fact that
hypocrisy and politics. Oh my Lord, Mr. Too, say it isn't so.
She said it isn't so. She said it was up to the hips. I'd say it was over their head. But
I, for one, just want to point out that I don't want to see Abdul's emails whatsoever, or text messages or phone calls.
I don't know. You might get some scoops.
I could. This is a big issue.
Check out my Snapchat account.
Right, look out, look out. This is a big issue in the media, of course. Democrats seized upon it. Indiana Democrats put out a statement immediately Thursday night when the story broke. When it's all said and done, when this weekend passes, is this an issue that doesn't really go anywhere in a story that quickly dies out?
Well, the election's over. I mean, that's the thing that frustrates me more than anything. How is it that we wait till 4 months after the election to find out what Mike Pence was really doing? I mean, it just is, to me, it's another indication of how ridiculous the last year's campaign was and how poorly it was covered by the national media. And it just seems to me that they were obsessed with things that didn't matter. But the Republicans did a better job of exploiting those things that really in the end didn't matter, and painting Hillary Clinton as some corrupt person because she had a private email when the governor of Indiana, who is now the vice president, had the same thing.
I don't think it entirely dies out because the governor's email is still an issue before the Indiana Supreme Court. They have tried to keep some of their emails secret. They redacted a lot of the stuff that they sent to the Star on this public records request, saying that it was too sensitive. So it still remains to be seen exactly what was in the emails.
And Mary Beth takes us to break. Abdul, Kip, Mary Beth, thank you for joining us. Join us on Twitter right now at Indy This Week. We'll be right back.